Hey guys, today we'll be doing a Beyblade Tournament analysis of the Beyblades at the Lake Tournament hosted by myself in Waxhaw, North Carolina a couple weekends ago. So this was the tournament right before the Summer Games. It was the Saturday prior, and a lot of the newer Beyblades showed up in the tournament, and they were prominent in the top 8. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this analysis. Now, the top 4 for this event were arka.paul, RayneAvalon, BeybladeBlast, and JSW. And the first matchup is between the 2nd and 4th seeds. So RayneAvalon was the 2nd seed. He was using Dynamite Belial with F gear, Giga Venture with Armor 2. He used Master Diabolus 2 with Will and Never, and he was also using Cyclone Ragnarok with Tapered, Atomic, and Armor 6. JSW used Tempest Solomon with the Metal Chip Core, 1S Woven, and Extend Plus. He used Master Fafnir with Around and Drift, and he used Dynamite Belial, Giga, Never with Armor 6. So the first matchup is Tempest versus Dynamite Belial. Now, Dynamite Belial with F gear has been destroying Tempest left and right. And I saw this at this tournament, and I saw this at the Summer Games. Now, I'm not sure how Belial is beating Tempest. Even this Belial on Venture demolishes Tempest. It has so much stamina left over. And Tempest is in stamina mode on Extend Plus, so yeah, it's a mystery to me. So Rayne gets the first point, and JSW will ask for the switch. And Rayne, since he won, he makes a good choice to stick with Belial. And JSW switches over to his Master. Now, I think Master is the right choice here, as it is opposite spin on Drift. So JSW definitely has the upper hand here. Now, Belial's going to get the KO. And yeah, that's unfortunate. I think JSW did a really good launch on that. He took the center, but the Venture was pretty aggressive. So JSW asked for the switch, and they end up using the exact same combos again. And I do believe it's been a little bit since this tournament happened, but I believe Belial gets the KO again. So that's unfortunate, but that time, JSW launched a lot harder. Now, if I was him, I wouldn't have launched as hard. It is opposite spin Drift versus an attack driver, so I would have just light launch and just let the light launching absorb all of the impact from Dynamite Belial hitting it, and that would have allowed it to just pretty much just get nudged and then go right back to the center. So yeah, JSW asks for the switch, and Rayne isn't going to switch at all. He's going to win with just Belial, so there's no real reason for him to switch. Now, JSW goes back to his Tempest. And if we look at the other combo he has Dynamite Belial Giga with Never and Armor 6. Now, I do believe Never has more stamina than Venture. However, his Dynamite Belial that he's using now doesn't have the F gear. So I'd say it's a good choice not to use it against an opponent's Dynamite Belial with the F. That said, honestly, I really think JSW should have been able to win with either Tempest or Master. And I'm not sure how this combo is beating Tempest, as I've faced a lot of Dynamite Belials with F gear on both Drift, and I think only two times I faced it on Venture, but I completely outspun it. And even on Drift, I've only lost once to it. So yeah, I'm really not sure how these Dynamite Belials are really just beating Tempest with so much more spin left over. Now, I do think if JSW keeps up with his practicing, he will definitely be able to beat this Dynamite Belial combo. And you can see, I'd say that's like the perfect launch for JSW. as Belial was sort of just tornado stalling around the Tempest while he was sitting in the center. So yeah, I really think Tempest should have won here, but Belial is just gonna have more stamina. Yeah, he has a lot more stamina, and maybe Rayne's just launching a lot harder than JSW. So JSW asks for the switch, and Rayne, he's going to go ahead and keep Tempest, and JSW, he's thinking about using Master, but he ultimately decides to use Tempest, and he decides to switch the mode on. Now, I'm not sure what mode he switched to, as you don't have to say, but from the looks of it, he went to attack mode. And he's holding it straight down, so yeah, it's going to go into a tornado stall initially. So in attack mode, you either want to do a sliding or a tilting launch so that you can get an aggressive flower pattern going. And he didn't really do that time. So essentially, he's going to try to out-stamina this combo in attack mode when he couldn't do it in attack mode. So yeah, Rayne ends up winning this match. Now, this next match is between the first and third seed. So BeybladeBlast is the third seed, and he was using Tempest Solomon with the Metal Chip Core, one as Will Extend Plus. He used Master Behemoth with Tapered Zone Dash Plus C, and he used World Spriggan to beat Orbit Battle. And Arka was the first seed, and he used Tempest Solomon with the Metal Chip Core, one as Will and Extend Plus. Banish Fafnir with Tapered Zone Dash Plus C and Armor 3, and he uses Dynamite Belial with the F Gear, Giga, Drift, and Armor 2. So this is the first time that I saw this Dynamite Belial Giga Drift combo being used. Now, not the first time at the tournament. Actually, no, he didn't use it in the first round. So yeah, the first time I saw it was when the matchup against us, myself and him. Now, he used it against me, and I believe I used my Tempest. Yeah, I used my Tempest, and I got the first point. And from there, he proceeded to just demolish me with Vanish Fafnir with Tapered Zone Dash Plus Z and Armor 3. He got a point. I stayed with my Tempest. He got a point off my Tempest, and I switched it to defense mode. And we tied maybe 5 or 6 times. And so I finally decided to use my World, and he beat me and then proceeded to continue to beat me with Vanish Fafnir. Even my Rage on Drift couldn't beat him as it's awoken, so I really have to get the first hit to do a flower pattern, and that just wasn't happening. So yeah, this is a good deck, and these are good combos. So the first matchup between these two is Master versus the Drift combo. So the Dynamite Belial with F Gear, Giga, Drift, and Armor 2, and Master Behemoth with Tapered Zone Dash Plus C. So it's opposite spin, Zone Dash Plus C versus Drift. So there's going to be a couple of draws. I believe the first 2 are draws, if I remember correctly. So with these being draws, I'll just discuss this combo here, this Master, or sorry, not the Master, the Vanish combo. So when I was playing against this combo, initially, I've played against a lot of different Zone Dash Plus Z combos, and my World on Orbit Metal beats them, and I was expecting it to be Vanish Fafnir. However, it did not beat Vanish Fafnir, and yeah, that was pretty frustrating. And after the tournament, I did practice against Vanish Fafnir, and so I did figure out how to beat it. I shouldn't say after the tournament. After this matchup, I did some launches against the Vanish Fafnir, and yeah, I figured out how to beat it. And it really comes down to, between World and Vanish, it comes down to whoever gets the center first. If Vanish Fafnir gets the center, then it's going to win 90% of the time, and if World gets the center, it's going to win 90% of the time. And that's from doing, I want to say, 50 plus matchups between World and Vanish Fafnir. So whichever one gets the center is the one that will win. So yeah, that was another draw, and I believe this time Belial will win. And you can see sort of how arka.paul is launching, as there are some players who will launch even an unawoken drift driver and it will still spin out of control. So you really have to mind how you're launching when using this combo. So yeah, I want to say that Arka gets the win here, and Blast will ask for the switch. Let's see. Yeah, Arka gets the win. So Master stops and then Belial hits it. So we have to look at a replay on that. So on the switch, Blast chooses to use Tempest, and yeah, you see what happens there. He kind of got KO'd, and yeah, so he's going to ask for a switch, and Arka will stay with Dynamite Belial, so Blast will choose to stay with Tempest. And I think that's a good choice, as really Tempest should be beating this combo. And maybe it comes down to how you're launching Tempest. As you can see here, the way Blast launched it, Tempest was leaning forward and on Dynamite Belial, so they were both leaning towards each other. And yeah, so Tempest actually ends up getting the win here, and Arka will end up asking for the switch. So yeah, let's see how much stamina is left over. I don't actually recall. Yeah, there was a decent amount of stamina left over there. So yeah, Arka will ask for the switch, and Blast will choose his Master. So Arka will choose to use his Fafnir. And looking at the combos, I wouldn't have chose to use Master. Well, yeah, I probably would not have chosen to use Master, just because he did just lose to that Dynamite Belial on drift, and I don't even think he's thinking about the world over there. And yeah, that's not a good switch in when you have the switch, as Arka could just use Tempest to beat it. So yeah, Arka decides to use his Vanish Fafnir this time. And honestly, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, as yeah, I haven't really tested the new Beyblades that much, at least not at this time. So yeah, Vanish gets a really good hit and forces Master to spin out of control. So Blast will ask for the switch, and Arka will choose to keep Fafnir, and so Blast will choose to switch to Whirl. Now, Blast watched the matchup between myself and Arka, and he and I did have a discussion after that matchup on how to launch a World so that it can beat Vanish. That's at the time I didn't know that whoever took the center first would win. My goal at the time was just to kind of launch in a way that forces Master off balance. So you see, Blast launches with World in, so an aggressive launch, and that's really not going to do enough to force Master to move. So you see, they're both really fighting for the center. And it looks like World has it, but Master's, yeah, you see, Master's just going to push it around. And yep, so Master gets the win there, and Blast will ask for the switch, and Arka will choose to keep Fafnir, and Blast will choose to give World another go. So you see, his Tempest isn't leaning forward. Actually, it's leaning forward now a lot, but he wants to get the Vanish Fafnir to tilt in so that it's hitting up against that 2B. So once it starts hitting up against that 2B, if it's in free spin mode, it's going to continue to do that. So you can see here, it's hitting up against the 2B, and you can see the result of what's happening. So yeah, Blast gets the win there, and Arka acts for the switch. Now, Blast chooses to use Tempest, and so Arka will go to Fafner. Now, Tempest can beat Zone Dash plus Z. I've done it, but Arka is really good at launching Zone Dash plus Z, and this combo is good on Zone Dash plus Z. So at least from what I've seen, your best chances against this combo is to draw. Either try to do a super aggressive launch and KO it, which doesn't seem to really happen that much, or either just draw, which isn't really going to push a point forward for you. So yeah, Fafner will get the win here. Actually, I misspoke. Actually, yeah, that was a draw. I know Fafner does end up getting the win, but yeah, you saw that time it was indeed a draw. And I'm not actually sure how many draws there are, as this was a couple weeks ago. So yeah, usually I'll do the video for the tournament, and then the upcoming Sunday I'll do the analysis. That way it's still fresh in my mind. So yeah, there may be more than, no, this might be the point here. Let's see. Yep, so yeah, that was a point for advantage. Tempest definitely stopped before it. So this is the third place matchup, and obviously, yeah, it's against Beyblade Blast and JSW. Now, JSW, he's using Tempest Solomon with the memory chip core. He's not using 1S Will anymore, he's using 2A Drift, and he's also using Dynamite Belly Out Giga number 6, and this time he has the F gear on it, and he's also using World Spriggan with 2B and Extend Plus. Now, Beyblade Blast is using Tempest Solomon, 1S Will Extend Plus, World Spriggan 2B Orbit Metal, and Vanish Fafner with Tapered and Zone Dash plus Z with Armor 3. So something that Beyblade Blast does is if he loses to a combo or he sees a combo doing good, he will use that combo in upcoming matches. And that's not a knock against Beyblade Blast, as even at the Summer Games, I saw a lot of players doing that. Once they saw Dynamite Belly Out, they immediately went to testing that combo in between rounds and followed up by using that combo in matches. So yeah, a lot of players do that. Now me, I'm the type of player who will test against a combo to try to beat it. I won't just pick up a combo because it's doing good. I'd rather figure out a way to beat it with the combos I use. So before we do this analysis of this match, I do want to mention the combo that JSW is using, the Tempest Solomon with a 2A and Drift. I do like that combo a lot. Now, I would probably use 1S Will and Drift to try to get a similar effect to the Dynamite Belly Out with Giga and Drift. But yeah, that 2A on Drift, that's a combo I do like. Now, I'm not a fan of World on Extend Plus. I think Tempest is just better on Extend Plus. But yeah, this first matchup is Tempest versus Belly Out. And again, this is a Dynamite Belly Out with F gear, which is going to win against a Tempest on Extend Plus. And yeah, I just don't understand how it's winning. I mean, yeah, it does have rubber, but yeah, I just from the matches I've had, I find it very hard to lose to this combo. And you see how much more stamina JSW has. So Blast acts for the switch, and JSW chooses to keep Belly Out, and so Blast is going to switch over to Vanish Fast. And if I recall, there will be a lot of draws, which is interesting. Well, no, not really. He's on never. So yeah, that's not. It's a stamina driver. So yeah, it's not that interesting. I was gonna say if he was on Venture, that would be interesting with several draws. But he's on a stamina driver too. So yeah, I'm not sure how many draws there are. I don't honestly remember, but there are some draws. And I do believe that Fafner on Zone Dash plus Z will eventually end up winning. As yeah, it's on Zone Dash plus Z. So yeah, that was a draw there, and so it's going to be a relaunch. Then yeah, we did have to look at the replay there. So while these draws are happening, I guess I'll just talk about the Beyblade Summer Games and if I will be doing a tournament analysis on that. So I will not be doing a tournament analysis on the Summer Games. I would have liked to do it, but the video isn't, at least the video that I saw, it wasn't really in a format where I could do an analysis, as it does kind of jump in between matches, so it's hard to give an analysis on that. Now I will keep looking for some video that I can use to do analysis, but until I find that, there won't be an analysis for the Beyblade Summer Games. Now, speaking of the Summer Games, it was an amazing event. I definitely give a lot of props to Koans for putting that together and managing to organize all of that, and he was an amazing host and the event was super smooth. And also the level of competition there was pretty good. We had some high level players going to that event, and so yeah, you definitely got to see what Beyblade is about. So yeah, Vanish Fafner won that time, and JSW will ask for the switch, and so Blast will choose to stick with Fafner and JSW will go to his Tempest, which in my opinion is a really good move on JSW. So opposite spin Tempest versus Zone Dash plus Z. And JSW does a good job launching that drift. Now, I don't think his drift is awoken, so for this matchup, that is good. Because you really want drift to stay in contact. And if you look at it, it looks like the Fafner's already slowing down a lot more than the Tempest combo. So yeah, Tempest definitely won that. It spun slightly more than the Fafner. So Blast will ask for the switch, and this is an interesting one because JSW will go to his world, and so Blast will go to his world combo. Now, if you recall, I've said several times that a fresh orbit metal can beat an extend plus in a same spin. Now, Blast is using my orbit metal, which isn't a fresh orbit metal. It's been used a lot, so it doesn't free spin as much as a fresh orbit metal. It does kind of have an erratic pattern to it. So yeah, this is interesting, as if I were Blast and I was going up against that opposite spin world on Extend Plus, I guess that is a decent choice, same spin orbit metal, but yeah, I probably would have went with Tempest, and those probably would have been a lot of draws actually. And he doesn't really want to go with the Vanish Fafner's same spin Extend Plus versus Zone Dash plus Z isn't really a good move on his part. But here they're both leaning in a lot. And yeah, so Blast ends up winning this one. So JSW will ask for the switch, and Blast will go to his Tempest, and JSW will choose to use his world again. So this is what I was saying I would have switched into if I were Blast and I saw JSW go for that world on Extend Plus. As I would have definitely betted on Tempest having more of an edge against World on Extend Plus. So yeah, so Blast, he will end up winning this match, and I think JSW will actually switch and they'll just replay essentially because they will both pick the same combos. And actually, something else to mention, they're actually sitting on, those aren't mats, so there are stadium stands that they use for the summer games and that they use in Florida. And we've tried using them a couple of times here in NC, and we cannot get these stands to actually stay standing. Usually they will fall. The part that they're sitting on will just cave in and the stadium will fall. So we really haven't figured a way out to do that. Now, I think for the summer games, I'm not sure, but I think they have something under the stadiums so that the top part that they're sitting on now stays up. Otherwise, yeah, I have no idea how they keep it up. That just seems like the most logical thing to do. And we haven't been able to find anything that would be the perfect height so that the stadium stands would stay holding the stadiums up. So yeah, JSW chose to use his world again, and if I were him, I would have went back to my belly out, as he did beat belly out, or he did beat Tempest previously in the first round with belly out. So I would have tried to do that again instead of going back, as Tempest did spend just a little bit more than world, so it didn't even seem like there was going to be a draw with the way they were punching. So yeah, I definitely would have tried my belly out before going back to world. And yeah, so Tempest will win this one again. I don't know why, but that world is wobbling a lot. Both it and Tempest actually. So yeah, you see there was definitely more spin in Tempest, the same as the first matchup. So JSW will ask for the switch, and Blast will just choose to use Tempest again, and this time JSW goes for belly out, which is honestly probably what I would have done as well. And you know, he could have probably went for that Tempest if he can get the launch, kind of like how Dynamite belly out on Extend Plus launches. Now there is some concern with that 2A with its scraping, as Giga does form a nice little, I don't know the right word for this, but they line up perfectly. Drift, Giga, and the Dynamite. So yeah, you see Tempest just has a lot more stamina that time. So yeah, Blast ended up winning that match, and this is the first place match. So it's Rayne versus Arka. Now, they're both using the exact same combos. So again, Rayne is using Dynamite belly out with the F gear, with Giga, Venture, and Armor 2. He's using Master Diabolus 2 with Will and Never, and Cyclone Ragnarok with Tapered, Atomic, and Armor 6. And Arka is using Tempest Solomon with the Metal Chip Core 1 as well Extend Plus, Vanish Fafnir, Tapered, Zone Dash plus Z with Armor 3, and the Dynamite belly out with F Gear, Giga, Drift, and Armor 2. So I'm not sure what happened during this match, but for some reason my phone didn't actually record the first 4 points. And I didn't notice until I went to look at a replay for the last point that it hadn't actually been recorded. So this will start at 2 points to 2 points, and the matchup is Belial versus Fafner. And yeah, so right away, Belial gets the point, and Arka will ask for the switch. Now, Rayne will choose to use Belial, and Arka will choose to use Fafner. Now, there were some matchups prior to this where Arka used the Dynamite Belial with Giga and Drift. However, the Dynamite Belial on Venture was beating it. So yeah, for this matchup, I think Fafner wins this time. And yeah, that was just a weird launch on the prior point. It was an interesting launch on the one before this. But yeah, Fafner will win this one. Because again, it's a zone dash plus Z versus an attack driver. Yeah, so you see he had a bit more spin. So Rayne will ask for the switch, and Arka chooses to keep Fafner, and so Rayne will go to his Cyclone, Ragnarok, Taper, Atomic. And I'm honestly not sure of that choice, as it's opposite spin, Atomic versus Zone Dash plus Z. Now Atomic is good same spin, but from everything I've seen, it's not good in opposite spin. So yeah, I think he should have maybe tried Master Diabolus on Never. And I actually don't remember how close this matchup was. But just from what I know about Atomic, or at least what I think I know about Atomic, it's not too great in opposite spin. But it does appear to be doing pretty good here, actually. And this is one way to try to get a final point, or not a final point, try to win. So yeah, Vanish definitely got the point there. And yep, Rayne, he asked for the switch, and Arka's just going to keep the same combo. And yeah, so this is what I would have tried in that prior matchup. I would have tried to use my Master Diabolus. So, you know, same spin, Never versus Zone Dash plus Z. Yeah, and you can see Master, yeah, just has so much more stamina. And so Arka, he asks for the switch, and Rayne says that he's going to stay, and so Arka's going to go for his Dynamite Belial on Drift. Now, yeah, that's the combo he should have picked, as it is opposite spin Drift. And if you look at the combos that Rayne has, really, yeah, I'm not sure what combo he should have went with. If he would have went with Cyclone, yeah, Dynamite Belial would have beat that. If he would have went with his Dynamite Belial combo, I believe he had already beaten the Drift Dynamite Belial, and I honestly think he beat Tempest as well. So it would have been down to his Dynamite Belial versus Vanish Fafner. But yeah, Arka ends up getting the win here and putting Dynamite Belial with Giga and Drift on the map. At least as far as I know, as he was the first one I saw use that combo. So yeah, that is the end of this analysis. And before we end, I do want to mention upcoming tournaments in the NC area. So there will be a tournament on the 31st, and there will probably be a tournament on the 17th in North Carolina. Now, Fafner will be hosting the tournament on the 31st, and he's asked me to co-host it with him, so I will do that. And for August, there will be tournaments in, I believe, Greensboro, NC, and Stay Cool or 4 Gaming will be hosting that event. And also in August, there will be a tournament in Atlanta, and myself and Stay Cool will be co-hosting that event. So yeah, if you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and all of that other good stuff. Thanks.